Welcome back into Talking Pittsburgh. Joining today is Phil. I've been practicing for 5 years. Group A.
That's the most excited one we've gotten yet. I look forward to that continuing to increase.
Every time, since you and Nick behind the scenes accuse me of practicing in front of a mirror, which I do every day, it's just getting better. I'm working on it.
I can tell.
It used to be
really paying
I
off.
was like just never going to nail your title. Now I'm just going to never nail your name. I'm just going to keep on
That's all right.
going.
I can handle that.
Phil, welcome back. How
Thank
you
you.
doing?
I'm doing well. It's actually autumn. It's officially autumn by the calendar, and the weather's finally getting there. It's my favorite time of year. I'm happy.
Nice. I got out and picked some apples over the weekend.
Love
it's
that.
like green light to just get out there and do every fall thing. My daughter asked me last night, Dad, when are the leaves going to fall so I can jump in them? And I said, I hope soon. And she's like, did you do that when you were a kid? I'm like, you're darn right I did,
We didn't
honey.
have leaves when I was a kid.
So we had a leaf problem and didn't know what to do with them. That was like busy work for kids. So just set them out there and start raking.
Yep.
Well, since we did just have the rainfall last time you and I got together, we did talk a little bit about the leaf-free stuff. As a reminder for folks, when it comes to the leaves, you do want to continue to either adopt a storm drain, keep those leaves out of the rivers, lakes, and streams, mulch them, or prepare them to be moved to some other location.
Sounded almost ominous, but yeah, bag them up.
Bag them up.
Bag them up, put them in a pile. Yeah, so Fitchburg does promote leaf-free streets, of course, all year, but autumn's really when it's most relevant. You got the most leaves falling. Get too many leaves in the street, they wash down the storm drain, they go out to our waterways, and they can clog things up. Too many leaves breaking down in the water can actually mess with the balance of nutrients in the water, and you can get harmful algae blooms and dead zones and things like that. So yeah, we really encourage people to keep leaves out of the streets. If you're raking them up, try to rake them into bags. You can either get a leaf mulcher or just use your lawnmower to kind of chop them up and let them compost back into the soil. Really easy process. You can use them as mulch back into your landscaping, your garden, or yes, definitely look into adopting a storm drain. We partner with Dane County's Land and Water Resources Department, Ripple Effects. They have an Adopt a Storm Drain program that you can, oh look at that, Adopt a Storm Drain right on your computer there.
You've never seen this, huh?
I have, but we're not usually on
I took
topic.
that off of one of the drains out there, so.
Oh boy, so we gotta get somebody else to sign up for it again.
No, I didn't.
So you can adopt a storm drain.
You can adopt
multiples if you'd like. And essentially what you do is you agree to, once a month go monitor the storm drain and clean it up as needed. Get leaves and branches out of the way and other things that might be there, and then you report that to the county. And we're just trying to, again, keep as much from washing down into the waterways as we possibly can.
Years ago, we did a video with a former mayor about the different steps. That was the first time that I realized composting leaves actually could work. And he was showing me how when we were filming, he was showing me hey, if you just do this, this, and this. And ever since then, put them in my garden every time, every year.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing. And that soil, by the way.
It's so rich.
It's amazing.
It's great. Yeah.
So I would highly recommend it. And
I use my mower to chop up the leaves. That works for some amount, but I have there's a couple of mulberries that, those things get kind of aggressive and weedy. I got a couple mulberries that drop a ton of leaves, and that's too many. It'll smother the grass. So those ones I do rake up and throw into the landscaping or the garden or whatever.
I love it.
It's fantastic.
All right. Well, let's switch gears here on the recycling side of things. With the recycling fall event, took place last weekend or the weekend
2 weekends ago?
Yeah, has it already been 2 weeks?
14th. It was last weekend. You're right.
Doesn't matter. It was a great event again.
It was fantastic.
And you all came out and turned in your electronic recycling and paper. So where did we end up?
So we had almost 10,000 pounds of electronics collected for recycling and about 5,700, I think, just shy of 6,000 pounds of paper that was collected to shred and recycle. So it was another successful event. Those are both neither high nor low, both kind of around average for these events. So it was pretty solid. We know we were competing against a Badger home game that was pretty prominent. So excited to see that people still prioritized this, put it on their calendars, and brought out those electronics and confidential papers.
It's pretty impressive on the electronics when you think of that many pounds of electronics. Thank you.
It's a lot of old TVs and computers and paper shredders and printers and things.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just doesn't feel right to throw those in your bin
It
first
really
off.
doesn't. I try to use things up just until there's no life left in them, but still at some point, yeah, it's got to go somewhere, and thank goodness we can recycle them.
Awesome. Well, we'll talk about the spring one in spring, but for now
Just sent out an email today to get dates set for next year, so once we have dates, I'll let you know.
Fantastic. We'll turn our attention now to a proclamation coming up for Energy Efficiency Day.
Yes.
Or is it week, or is it
Energy
month?
Efficiency Day. It is Energy Efficiency Year every year. Think about it all the time. Or just think about it a few times and set things up. You don't have to think about it again. That's really the ideal way to go. October 2nd, or every year it's the first Wednesday of October, there is a National Energy Efficiency Day movement. And the goal of this is just to continue to promote energy efficiency as a way to, the short and sweet definition of energy efficiency is completing the same tasks but using less energy to do it. So this is a really easy first step to cutting down our overall energy use, not asking people to change their lifestyle that significantly. It's putting in fluorescent or LED bulbs instead of incandescent ones. It's using things like programmable or smart thermostats instead of a manual thermostat, things that still allow you to heat your home, use the same still use appliances to accomplish the same tasks, but do this with less energy. So the Energy Efficiency Day movement is really about bringing attention to this and encouraging people to look for ways to be more efficient with their energy use in their daily life. If you go to, I believe the URL is energyefficiencyday.org. There are a lot of suggestions on things that you can do that are really easy first steps to being more energy efficient. So several of the previous years, Fitchburg has issued proclamations recognizing Energy Efficiency Day as an official day in Fitchburg as well. State of Wisconsin has done this, Dane County has done it, but Fitchburg has also participated and will be doing so again at tomorrow night's council meeting for Wednesday, October 2nd.
Seems like a lot easier now to implement some of these energy efficient pieces in your life because the prices have come down on it. It's not, it's
with
not
a lot of
new,
these,
so to speak.
right.
But
with a lot of these things, we're kind of past the early adopter phase.
Yeah.
And so it's at a point where, prices have come down because there are enough products being manufactured. And then there's just so many more varieties of products so that it's a lot easier to find something that you can kind of custom tailor to specifically what you want.
Yeah.
Back when there was only one option for a fluorescent light and it buzzed, it wasn't appealing. It wasn't necessarily easy to, it wasn't necessarily easy to make that change.
Yeah.
But now there's, 20 different flavors of LED light bulbs. You can get color changing ones. You can get smart bulbs that operate on a scheduler. You can control them remotely. And just all kinds of different options there. And it's the same case with, look for Energy Star labeled appliances. There are a ton of fridges and dishwashers and water heaters and things that are Energy Star labeled. Those tend to be they are more energy efficient. It's better for reducing the energy usage. This means that utilities don't have to put in things like new power plants as quickly because the energy load from their territory is decreased. So that saves ratepayers costs in bulk, but also it just saves you on your own home energy bills because you're using less energy, and that's a big win.
Yeah, I would say take some time out on the day when it comes up, review what you got, take a look, because you look around and you're like, oh man, I could probably update a few of these things or check into a few of these new different types of whatever.
One thing that doesn't get a lot of attention, you can check out a home energy meter, a watt counter from the library. They actually have watt meters that you can reserve, you can check out, you can take it home, plug in appliances, plug in power strips. Some of them use an incredibly low amount of energy. You'll be surprised at some. It's called phantom load. If an appliance is off, but it's still drawing energy from your outlets just by virtue of being plugged in. A lot of devices that go into a standby mode will still use power while they're in standby. This watt meter can help you identify the especially large culprits for vampire load, and then you think about, all right, do I get a smart power strip that can shut off that power if I'm not actually using the appliance? Do I unplug certain things if I'm not using them? But that's also a really good way. You're not using that appliance right now, but it's costing you money. And so finding a way to cut that out too doesn't get as much attention. I don't think a lot of people know about those watt meters, but a really, really useful tool to help you identify where you might be wasting money on energy that's not actually doing anything for you.
Phil's just giving you 10 steps here to start on Efficiency Day. I love it. It's good stuff.
Happy Efficiency Day.
All right. Finally, we turn our attention to 2 new BCycle stations in Fitchburg. So exciting.
Yeah, we got our first 2. We had the big BCycle rollout last year, and this year's just been kind of trying to identify, all right, we got the biggest areas of need. Now where else can we get stations, and it's viable in terms of the who owns that land and what are the uses around it. We got 2 more stations in the past couple weeks that we're excited about. One of them is on Traceway Drive, just west of Fish Hatchery Road. This is across from where the neighborhood hub is going to be going in the next couple of years. I believe they're breaking ground in the spring. But the city does own some land on the south side of Traceway across the road as well, and we've got some BCycle stations there that are usable right away. Once the hub actually goes in, there will be some permanent stations placed on that location as well. And then there's also a station just west of Verona Road. It's at the roundabout where Williamsburg Way and Anton Drive meet. So there's already a station at the Mackenzie Workforce Center, owned by the Boys and Girls Club, just east of Verona Road. This is basically just right across the bridge of Williamsburg Way. So again, pushing the network a little bit farther west, getting access to more people. We're really excited about that.
Yeah, I was telling you, I'm like, that's like the perfect area to connect into a trail and get going. So I mean, you can't really beat it.
Those are both really close to the trail network, the Military Ridge Trail, the Badger State Trail. That one at Williamsburg and Anton, it's got a really good mix of uses, and that's kind of what we're looking for. There's parks nearby. There's a lot of residents. There's commerce and retail there. So hoping that one is really appealing for a lot of people.
All right. Well, I appreciate the update, and certainly if you want to learn more, you can check out Phil's green newsletter update that he puts out. In fact, you just put one out recently, did you?
I did. I just sent it last week.
Fantastic. So you want to get on that, but you can go to our website, fitchburgwi.gov, and look for, I almost said recreation.
Well.
You could. It's sustainability recreation.
That's what the bike trails are for.
Yeah, absolutely. Phil, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jeremy.